Before presenting my arguments, I will present my credentials. This is especially for Fisherman, or whatever his real name is, a Jew-obsessed idiot on YouTube. For him and for others of his ilk. I am no Hasbara, no Zionist stooge. Few people have better credentials than me. I've studied Zionism and organised Jewry for over 40 years. I've written 2 full-length books on the so-called Holocaust from the revisionist perspective. I attended the Global Vision Conference in Tehran, December 2006. I've been smeared left, right and centre by organised Jewry in Britain. They tried to have me prosecuted for exposing their lies. They have been arrested twice. I was attacked by thugs who put up to it, or perhaps hired by a notorious editor of a so-called anti-fascist magazine, whom I successfully sued. I know all about the Jewish question. Herzl, the Zionist peril, as Lucian Wolff called it, the Balfour Declaration. And I'm not fooled by their whining about the Second World War. I haven't forgotten the war within a war they started in Palestine while the British were saving them from the gas chambers. And all about the King David Hotel, which the Zionists exploded, blew up, and they tried to blame the deaths on the Goyim. Would you believe that? According to the Jewish Virtual Library, they said, we don't take orders from the Jews. And all about the 2 intifadas, and how initially Hamas was financed by Israel as a counterbalance to the PLO. Remember the PLO? I know all about Israeli so-called apartheid. In fact, black South Africans who are old enough to remember it are now calling apartheid the good old days. Apartheid, or whatever you want to call it, in Israel is far worse than South Africa. I'll put a link to my video about that. So what are the facts about rebellion? The Facts About Rebellion is an essay by Charlie Rees. It's on my main website. I'll put a link to it. Here's a few words for it. Which political leader made war on his own people, killing 262,000 of them, burning their cities, destroying their food supply, and placing the survivors under military occupation? If your answer is Saddam Hussein, you're wrong. The answer is Abraham Lincoln. This was written at a time just before the US-UK invasion of Iraq. Basically, no government, well, I say no government, but no government worthy of the name, no state worthy of the name, will when their own people rise up against them, they'll put down the rebellion. If they don't, then they're toast. When other people rise up against them, for example, the communist-inspired revolutions against so-called colonialism and imperialism in Africa, Rhodesia and Kenya spring to mind, Kenya and the Mau Mau. Again, I'll put a link to that. You either crush or you're crushed. What we have here is 2 different peoples, 2 races, if you like. Not strictly true in this case, because it's very complicated, but you've got the Jews on one side and Palestinians, Arabs on the other. 2 races with disparate interests. And, you know, after what happened on October 7th, it was inevitable that the Israelis would bomb Gaza back to the Stone Age. I hate to say this, but what else are they meant to do? Hamas must have known this. They can't be so stupid as not to have known it. We've seen the way the Israelis act, the way they've acted before. Cast Lead, remember Cast Lead? Remember the Flotilla massacre? When they boarded a ship bringing relief to Palestinians, murdered 9 people on board, innocent men, 9 men, brutalised the rest of the crew, passengers, and then they made a song. They released a song about it. We fooled the world. So you know the sort of people you're up against. Totally ruthless. The IDF, totally ruthless, and the Israeli government. So if you go and you murder 260 people at a music festival alone, including raping women, I mean, what's rape got to do with it? 260 people, mostly young, total around 1,400 people, from the very old to babies. What are they going to do? What would almost any, well, certainly, what would China do? What would Saudi Arabia do? I'm not sure the West would do this. Would do this because our leaders have gone soft. But India, Pakistan, what would they do? It's just, and this, I mean, these acts of depravity, just, and these dumb fucking goyim in the West. As Levant pointed out, no sooner these attacks happened than the so-called Free Palestine movement, the anti-racist, what do you want to call them, they were celebrating. They were fucking celebrating. Celebrating mass murder. Owen Jones, that little faggot, talked about the dehumanisation of the Palestinians. Really? Dehumanisation. Hamas are Islamists. They don't give a fuck about the Palestinians. That's why they're using them as human shields. They want to, I mean, yeah, kill every Jew in the world, and when they've killed Jews, who are they going to kill next? Homosexuals, Owen, like you. Remember the Orlando nightclub? 49 dead? Then who else? Apostates, all us infidels. You grew up in Manchester, didn't you, Owen? Remember that concert? 22 dead and 1,017 injured by an Islamist suicide bomber. 7/7, remember that? I was in London. Well, I live in London, but I was travelling into central London that day. If I didn't travel off peak, as I always do, I could have been one of the dead. Not inconceivable. 9/11, remember that? The Nakba was 75 years ago. All the terrorists, it calls it, are long dead, or well over 90. So, you're going to kill innocent babies? You're going to support that? Listen to this mad cow.
Are you people dead? Are you people dead? Yes. Oh, good. Good. Are they dead? Oh, good.
If that stupid girl can be forgiven on account of her age and immaturity, this is positively sinister.
Hello.
Hi, Abba.
طب انا قاعد اكلمك من جوبا بسيم، افتح الواتس تبعه قول له وين، شوف كيف القتله، شوف كيف قتلك فيديو يابا، ابنك قتل يهود، هاي دخل بسيم يابا.
الله اكبر، ربنا يحميك يا رب، ربنا يحميك يابا، ربنا يحميك
قاعد
يابا.
اكلمك من جوال يهوديه قتلتها وقتلت جوزها،
الله
عشرة فيديو
اكبر، الله
قتلت
اكبر ولله
10
الحمد. الله
يابا،
اكبر
10
ولله
فيديو
الحمد.
قتلت يابا. افتح الواتس شوف كيف قتلت يابا، افتح بدي عليك واتس قول له وين بروح. يابا عجبة بسيم يابا، يابا والله 10 قتلت، 10 فيديو يابا، يابا على ايدي، اعطيني امي
يما يما يحميك يما، طول الليل
والله 10 فيديو يابا، 10 يابا فيديو قتلت.
There have been repeated calls for ceasefire. So the Israelis ceasefire, allow Hamas to regroup, and same again. They're said to be hiding in tunnels under Gaza. Have you seen these tunnels? Have you seen the extent of them? They put the London Underground to shame. They've been built over a period of years, a decade or more. In economics, there's something called opportunity cost. Basically, you can spend money on one thing or something else. You can put your resources on one thing or something else. Human action is finite. We can't do everything we want to do, everything we need to do. The amount of labour and materials put into those tunnels, which are very impressive, I'll show you. The amount of labour and materials that put into those, if that had been, excuse the creaking table, if that had been spent elsewhere, if the money and the time and resources had been spent elsewhere developing Gaza, I am far from the first person to make this observation. They could have made it, literally could have made a desert bloom. They could have made it into Monte Carlo. No kidding. Instead, you've got these tunnels way under the ground, and yeah, for what? The whole thing is insane. Now, I'm not saying that, I mean, I've made my position on Zionism clear for many years, but after the Syrian debacle, I've kind of changed my mind. Dan Bongino, who can be believed, or most things he says can be believed, he says there will be no two-state solution. I think there has to be a two-state solution, because one state is, no, it ain't going to happen. And you know, I don't like this idea of, for a long time the Israelis have been portraying themselves as the outpost of Western civilization, separating us from the heathens. Well, no, that's garbage. Most Muslims aren't like that. I know quite a lot of Muslims. I've known a lot over the years, and most of the Muslims I know spend more time in Mecca bookmakers than praying to Mecca. And this is a movement which it has to be stopped, and this insane alliance of Islamists and these politically correct morons. I mean, you see what's happening in the United States. These people don't seem to realise that, I mean, gays for Palestine, queers for Palestine, seriously. This whole thing has to be stopped, and it's going to be a lot more human suffering of the innocent. It's always the innocent who suffer. But unless Hamas is destroyed, this cancer will destroy us, not just the Israelis. Anyway, that's my wisdom on the subject.